Hello, everyone. How are you all doing on this beautiful Wednesday evening? This is Speak Up Sis Talk Show, the place where Christian independent authors have an opportunity to share the word of their testimony through their written work in order to inspire you to open up your mouth and share yours. I'm your host, Angel Charmaine, and I am excited to be here yet again. You all know I love reading. I love books and I love people. And so Speak Up Sis Talk Show allows me to get involved with all of that all in one place. And I get to invite you all to meet some really awesome people that you probably wouldn't meet outside of this space. And tonight is going to be so great. I've got a beautiful woman. Her name is Michele, and she is going to come into this space and share a little bit about her testimony. She's going to talk about her book. We're going to talk about some lessons learned tonight. And we're going to talk about some words that maybe you all might not use on a regular basis. But I know she's got some good stuff to share with you all. So I want to welcome Michele L. Turner to Speak Up Sis Talk Show.
Hello, hello. Thank you for the compliment. One beautiful woman to the next.
Yes, ma'am. I always say it takes one to know one, right?
There you go. There you go.
So how are you doing? And welcome to Speak Up Sis Talk Show. I appreciate you for choosing the space to share.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Most def. So we're going to go ahead and get into this because let me tell you, these 30 minutes, they go like this.
All right, I'm ready.
I would like for you to start by sharing a little bit about who is Michele to our listening audience and viewing audience.
All right. Well, I am Michele Turner. I live in Snohomish, Washington, which is about an hour or so north of Seattle. Grandma of 2 and mother of 3. I moved here about 18 years ago from the Illinois area, Bolingbrook, Illinois. I grew up on the south side of Chicago and born in Saginaw, Michigan. So that's me.
Okay, that was short and sweet.
Like, there we go.
That's what I like. I love that. When I get into spaces and especially if the person has to introduce me and it's like, she did A, B, C, I'll be like, come on, can we get to it? Listen, girl, we're about to have a spectacular conversation already. I already know it. So just let your hair down in this space. We just have real authentic conversations here. I even hate using the word authentic now, right? It's kind of a buzzword, but it's genuine.
There you go.
And it's for real. So let's get into lessons learned. Now, the name of your book is Lessons Learned, Short Stories of Continuity and Resilience. That's a mouthful.
Yes. It is.
The mouthful.
So people are probably wondering what that means. Do you want me to tell them now?
You can't. Howard. Hey.
All right. So continuity. So in the event that there's a business interruption, there's a need for that company or that organization to be able to get things back up and running. Disaster, natural disaster, civil unrest, or whatever. The ability to be resilient means that we're going to put some things in place to make sure that we are not just able to recover, but we're able to go back better than before. So I aligned what I've learned over the past almost 30 years of being in continuity and resilience with my life. And so I took a look at some situations where there might have been some things that could have been considered a disaster, but I needed to step in there. I had planning in place and I needed to be able to recover and continue to be resilient. So that's where the book comes from. I just wanted to be able to give a couple of lessons learned to people because at the time I was going through it, I thought I might have been the only one. But as long as people know that they're not and there's someone there that they can lean on or talk to, I find that to be the best way to go.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And thank you for kind of explaining a little bit about the title, that hefty part of continuity and resilience. So I want to have a conversation about lessons learned and resilience and continuity in our everyday lives, because I know you have a business perspective, you have a professional view of it, right? But I think it also fits in our everyday lives, and especially with what we have been seeing for the last 2 years, just about.
There you go. That pandemic.
Yes, there are lots of lessons that are being learned. There are a lot of lessons that are being experienced. Prayerfully, people are learning from them, right?
We would hope. Yeah, we pray.
So what is an experience that you have lived, that you had to learn through, that maybe you've talked about in the book that people can expect to read about?
So the first one that comes to mind is really self-care. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, I'm what I call a recovering workaholic. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love to work, and I've got to watch myself. And I had a situation where I had done so much, worked so much, that I decided, you know what, fine, we'll go on a family vacation. We were driving from Washington to the Texas area, and I slept all the way there and all the way back. Literally did not get up for a break or anything, rest area. I was so tired. Well, the problem is, when I got back, I started feeling pretty sore. My legs were sore, and one of the days I had a big senior level, C-level, they call it, CEO, CIO meeting the next day. And I wasn't feeling good, but hey, I've got to keep it going, keep it moving. So it was a little bit difficult to breathe, but I'm like, you know what? It's just that I've probably been sleeping wrong or whatever. And I had to go to Ariana, my oldest, her recital with the kids and the husband. And so I decided, you know what, let me just go ahead. I'll go to the recital. It'll be fine. I'll shake it off. Got to the recital, couldn't shake it off. It got difficult to breathe. Ended up having my husband drive me to the emergency room, where I basically couldn't walk upright. Couldn't breathe, fading in and out. I heard them say, get her morphine. They tried to tell me, give her, we're going to have to give her this. I'm like, no, I have a meeting. Just give me a pill. I'll be fine. And the doctor finally said, you know what, ma'am, I don't know why you're here, meaning I don't know why you're still alive, but do you mind if I just continue to save your life? So, of course, I had an attitude. I'm like, you know what? When I can see it, one of you and not double, I'm writing a letter to somebody, and I'm saying something. But the reality is, I had a pulmonary embolism. I was in the hospital. My lungs were covered with blood clots. And I was in the hospital for about 7 days. And I had to learn what I call slow down to speed up. You are not going to do anybody any good if you're twitching in a ditch somewhere, because you've just run yourself ragged. Mm-hmm. So slow down, and you'll be able to do much more once you have that energy and you're taking care of yourself and not trying to do everything all at one time.
Right. Wow. It's amazing how our brains work when we're in that mode, because I totally understand workaholicism.
There you go.
Because I can say that I may have a touch of it. You know how to
just a touch.
Say, you just gotta, you got a touch of that. I may have just a touch of that, and I totally understand. But I was listening to you when you're here about to like cash out of here, and you're still on. I am Miss So and So, Miss Worker Bee, Miss Professionalism. Yep. How dare you?
Exactly.
Me, like,
just attitude.
Like, when do you turn it off?
See, that's just it. For me, I really do enjoy working, but the thing about it is I have to respect my own boundaries. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't respect your boundaries, then when you go into the office and people start to say, oh, I see you're online at 2 a.m. Well, let me just send you this. You can't blame anybody but yourself.
Bam.
Because you're showing them how to treat you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I needed to do a lot of stepping back to make sure that I got myself together. If I say that my family is my priority, then I want to be around here for them, then that's what I do. Same thing, you know how people say work-life balance? Mm-hmm. That's the thing that was killing me. Because I was trying to balance everything. Mm-hmm. And look, if family comes first, then you know what? Just integrate or create some sort of harmony. But at the end of the day, my family's number one.
Yes. So let me tell you, I'm so glad you said that. And before we go into this next piece of the conversation, I would like, let me put my spectacles on.
Uh-oh.
Renee Jackson is in the building. She says, hello.
Hey, Renee.
Renee, thank you for joining us tonight. Mama Goose, how you doing, sis? It's good to see you tonight.
Hello.
As well. Colette, how you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, please click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notifications when we are here. Dana, how you doing, sis? It's good to see you in the building as well. Thank you all so much for joining
us. Hello, everyone.
Tonight. Yes, make sure you all say hello to author Michele L. Turner tonight as well. And feel free to ask her questions or, you know, make comments. I think she's okay with that. All right.
I'm totally fine with that.
I want to jump back to this work-life balance thing. I think that is a life lesson that many of us need to relearn.
Yep.
And I say relearn because we have been bombarded over the last, I'll say maybe, I'm going to say probably 5 to 10 years with this whole balance.
There you go.
Balance. I don't believe in that.
Nope.
I don't. I heard someone use a word that I'm going to use, and it is harmony.
There you go.
That doesn't equal balance. Our lives should work in harmony, right? Our work life or our professional life, our personal life, our spiritual lives,
exactly.
Our social life, they should all work in harmony. And so there are times when you will spend more time in your professional space. But when that time is up, you may actually end up spending some time over here in your personal life, but it doesn't have to be equal. And I think balance means it's equal out and it's level, right? And it's not like
that all the time.
Work, I'm gonna do 10 hours of family. No, if you're gonna do 8 hours of work and all you have is 4 hours of family, spend your entire 4 hours.
There you go.
Family.
There you go. You cannot, here's what I say. You can do everything, but you can't do everything at one time. And so you've got to make sure that you are able to, again, set your boundaries, create that harmony. You know, one other thing, when you think about, you know how everybody says that America is a melting pot. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a melting pot, because when you think of a melting pot, things meld together and it becomes this mushy something. Yes. But when you think about a mosaic means that everybody brings their individual things to the party or to the big picture, and it creates this beautiful, beautiful portrait.
Yes.
And so the same way, everything that I have in my life, I bring all of that to bear, and it creates a beautiful portrait. But I'm not balancing anything. And actually, I see my daughter. She said, "Hi, Mommy." "Hi, honey." I see her making a comment here.
Oh, okay. I don't. Is it EJ?
Well, EJ is my son. He's in college in Texas, and then Ariana is my oldest, and Cameron is here somewhere as well. She's my middle one.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to say hey to the babies. Hello, EJ. How you doing? Thank you for supporting your mom tonight. I'm a mother of 4 sons. I call them my mighty men of valor. And so whenever they take time to show up, I'll be like, Lord.
Exactly.
Mama, we don't care. And hello, Ariana. Hi. Oh, she says, "Hi, Mommy." Oh. Hello, hello, Ariana. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and supporting your mom. We really appreciate you. I appreciate you, as I know she does. All right,
Definitely.
so let's talk about how continuity and resilience uh, fit with this whole idea of life lessons. Why did you choose those words specifically? Because you could life lessons. I mean, you could have used a lot of
Oh,
different
yeah.
words, right? Especially with the profession that you have. Why continuity and why resilience?
So I've been in this field for, as I said, almost 30 years. And so it is a part of me, and it's a big part of me. And I created a methodology for different organizations and companies to use. I call it Parse: prepare, assess, remediate, sustain, and examine. And so whenever I would go into companies, I would develop their continuity plan or their resilience plan, leveraging those areas.
Mm-hmm.
So when I thought about it, I said, wait a minute, that's what I do in my life as well.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that, there are people who assisted in preparing me for my life. When we talk about the remediate, I had to remediate certain things and really do my own risk assessment and understand this and that. When it came to assess, the A in Parse, I had to assess really what was going on and circle back and act like I had some sense to make sure that I got myself together. So that's PAR. The S stands for sustain. And so sustain is basically your ability to exercise, meaning your ability to, what, in the event that something were to occur, what would I do? And is there a way for me to put that into practice? I think the pandemic has caused a lot of people to put certain things in practice that we haven't been used to doing.
Right.
And then E, to close it out, examine. That means I'm putting things into a process where I can continuously evolve and continuously improve. I'm continuously learning. That's my way of continuing to evolve myself. So that's where it comes from.
My goodness. All of that.
Is that all right?
Listen, so as an educator, those are the things that we do even in the classroom. Even as an educator, maybe not using the acronym, but most definitely, and even in our own lives. So I'm sitting here because I'm always thinking, and my brain is processing, and I'm thinking about this idea of creating a space where you are continually, without breaking down. See,
there you go.
About continuity, right?
There you go.
That you want to establish a system that will allow you to keep moving, keep growing, look back, reflect, make things better without breaking down. And I think that piece, all of this, everybody just wants to break down. No.
You can slow down. You can slow down, but you don't have to quit.
You don't have to.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Think about the brakes on a car. The brakes on a car, you tap them lightly to be able to slow down. You don't immediately want to stop and, go through the windshield, have all this other type stuff going on. You want to be able to have something that will control things. So that's why you have to slow down. You have to be able to pull things back into control and again, get yourself together.
Exactly. I'm rocking with you. So resilience is one of my all-time favorite. I love words. I like the way resilience rolls off your tongue. It's like
there you
resilience,
go.
Like
there you go.
Okay, like mellifluous, right? Words. I got a thing with words. But anyway, this idea of bounce back. That's what I think about when I think about resiliency. It's not that you won't be stretched. It's that you'll bounce back. You won't break. You won't pop, right? You can be pulled kind of like a rubber band, right? And you're going to have all of these stressors. You're going to have all of these life lessons, all of these things that are happening. But when you have a system that allows for continuity and resilience, then you won't find yourself broken, beat down, busted, and disgusted about everything all the time. I'm telling you. So even with Speak Up Sis, the heart I always say the center of my philosophy, my personal philosophy, is that conversations help build resiliency in people. And when we get back to that place where we can have real, honest,
There you
vulnerable,
go.
transparent, and honest conversations, because those three are different. I don't know why
Exactly.
people use them interchangeably, because they're different. But when we
Open, honest, and direct.
yes, right,
Yep.
then we build those, what Lisa Nichols calls those bounce back muscles.
See,
You build those, and things like this, conversations like this, where people are just open about their own experiences. A lot of folks wouldn't come on here and be like, yeah, I was dealing with a pulmonary embolism and I could have died and whatever because I worked too much and stressed out. And no, we don't want to talk about that. No.
but we have to be able to share, because that's how we all learn. And if I keep this to myself and I don't tell you, you know what, you might want to look around that corner because there's something coming, and just let me give you some insight. We've got to do better with each other. And you know what? I want to be able to not just bounce back, I want to bounce forward. I want to know that the things that I've put in place will help me continue to evolve.
Yes. That's good. That's good. And
I like what Mary says. She says, yes, stretched, not stressed or broken. Exactly. And I see Oscar's there too. Love you too, Oscar.
Hey, Mary, how you doing, sis? Yes, stretched, not stressed or broken. Love it, love it, love it. And hi, Oscar. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. All of that's good stuff. All of that's good stuff. So now what I would like for you to do is to talk a bit about the book itself. So, and we've been just sort of glancing over what you do for a living. And honestly, y'all, I can't remember the title. It's got like 5
It's all right.
or something. But she sounds really important to me in her respective field. I don't know. So, but what I would like to know is your book geared more towards professional people and helping people in their professional lives? Are you sharing these lessons learned for professionals, or is your audience, your target audience or target readers rather, everyday folks that you're sharing lessons from your work to help them in their life? Or is it kind of a mixture of both?
You know what? It's a mixture of both. I've had reviews from both. People who are deep into the continuity and resilience area say, wow, you know what? Some of the things you had in the appendix, the templates and such, I can really use those. And then I've had people who've known nothing about continuity or resilience say, you know what? That lesson learned where you talked about your father having frontal temporal lobe dementia, that hit me pretty hard. And what you've learned and what you've shared will help me move forward. And so it's for either. Now, during the day, I'm the head of global business resiliency for a major e-commerce organization. And
did y'all catch that?
And
so y'all to know it wasn't me.
And that's 3 things. It's business continuity, it's workplace resiliency. So if something happens at the workplace, how do we rebuild that site or that facility? And then it's crisis management. We've all been living that the past, 18 months or so? Yeah. It's making sure that we understand from a corporate perspective, how do we really address these catastrophic events? How do we continue to move forward and be operational and make sure that life safety is at the top of the list?
Right. Sounds good to me. Well, listen, the way I see it is, if it will work for your professional life to help you if these massive companies and organizations and conglomerates, right, if they're using these skills to keep running during recessions, depressions, through pandemics, if they're using these skills to maintain their businesses, why do we think that
it won't work for us?
Strategies won't work for us.
There you go.
It will. and they will.
Exactly.
I'm grateful that you decided to share your
Thank you.
lessons learned, share your life with us, because that's, and I'm gonna, and I wanna, this is kind of off the beaten path a bit,
Yeah.
but why not? I read that you were reared in a Mennonite uh, home.
Yeah, in a Mennonite faith. My father is a Mennonite minister.
So I think I said this to you when we did our pre-con. I was like, I never met no Black Mennonite people.
There aren't very many of us, let me tell
I
you.
didn't even know when you said. I had to go look. I was like, hold on a second. I know I saw a Black woman admit this. Let me go see. I was in awe. If you will, please share a
Yes.
little bit about that experience. And did you include any lessons from that in the book?
I definitely did include some lessons around that. So, as a Mennonite, we have what's called the Confession of Faith, and it talks about Jesus being at the top and our ability to give back to others. And that's just really what I do. In terms of giving back, I went to a school, a private or Mennonite college in Goshen, Indiana, which is basically, there's a lot of cornfields, a lot of Amish. Mennonite is a cousin to the Amish, so to speak. And so what we do, instead of studying about, let's say, Guadeloupe in the French West Indies, we would go and we would do a service. It was called a service study trimester. And so I taught English in a French orphanage. I did overseas translation for the house parents that I was with there. But it's really about being able to give back. And the Mennonite faith, I've been a Mennonite all my life, and there's a story in there about the way my parents met, and it was in a very Mennonite type of way that they met. They corresponded for about 3 years before they even saw each other. And then when Daddy got off the train, he saw Mama. He said, okay, you know what? I'm going to need to ask you to marry me. So you'll read the book. I'm telling you that piece. It's true.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling like I need to get on a train and somebody needs to be like you're it. Can we do? I feel like I need that energy in my life. Listen, you are such an amazing woman. I've been following you. You've probably seen me pop up in your spaces and your LinkedIn and all these different places.
I have, and I love it.
I've been just kind of trying to watch and see and feel you out. And I just believe that you are an amazing person.
Thank you.
Amazing woman. Clearly, your babies are on here. Well, they ain't babies, but to us, they're always babies. And
there you go.
And they're supporting you. And so that says to me that you're an amazing mom as
Thank
well.
you.
And clearly, you know what you're doing in the world of work. And now you've given us a beautiful text that we can all glean. And so I want to encourage everyone who is watching tonight, especially if you are a part of the Speak Up Sis community. You all already know how we do this. You get an opportunity to meet a self-published author in this space. Speak Up Sis is all about creating spaces and places for people who can sometimes seem voiceless because no one knows they're there, but we all know that we all have a voice. It may sound different. We may use it differently. It may not even be an audible oral voice, but we all have one. And so Michele has shared a bit of her story with us through her book. And I encourage you all to go to the bookshelf at speakupsis.com/bookshelf and grab a copy of the book. It is listed under the must reads. And it is also listed on the, I believe it's the fiction section. No, nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's under the nonfiction section on the bookshelf when you go to the website. Please grab a copy of it, support this sister, read it, write a review, reach out to her, let her know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and all that good stuff. And then share her with with at least one other person. Share her with someone who doesn't know who she is. Introduce her to people in your spaces. And if you are new in this space, please know, going to the bookshelf, I am not getting any of her coins. I hate that I have to say this, Michele, but you know how sometimes
I hear you.
feel like, I don't want to give her any money. You're not giving me any money. When you go to speakupsis.com/bookshelf and you click on lessons learned, then that's going to take you where Michele wants you to purchase her book. So wherever she wants to drive her sales, that is the link that book is connected to. And so when you click on it, you will be paying her in the space she wants you to pay her. I'm not getting any proceeds or percentages or anything from that. This is just a way to pull books off the massive engine that is Amazon and create a niche space so that you all can find them a little more easily. Okay, so please visit speakupsis.com/bookshelf and grab a copy of this book. I know you're not going
Thank
to
you so
regret
much.
it. All right.
And I have to thank you directly. Thank you for putting this together, this space. This is absolutely amazing. And so already I've been sharing the link, and I've been sharing your name with other people. I'm so thankful that you're here. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm telling you, I stand in awe of how things just work and connect, and how you meet people in spaces and you don't know. And what you all don't realize is the two of us actually have probably shared space before and didn't even know each other. It's imperative. Right. Y'all know how I love sidebars. So here we go. It is imperative that we begin to understand that the way we treat people, our presentation of ourselves, because we are responsible for how we present ourselves. We're not responsible for how other people perceive us, right?
There we go.
But it is very important that we treat people well. It's very important that when you're in different spaces and you don't know anyone, that you're kind to people, that you're warm to people. We could have met in another space and she could have remembered me as some, nasty talking, and then all of a sudden I'm going, "Hey sis," and she's like, "No, I remember you," right? Or vice versa. So it is so important, you all, especially as independent authors, because many of you are watching, I know that you are. It's important that you present yourselves well, that you remember you are a professional. You don't have to have published on Penguin or Random House or whatever.
There we
if
go.
you choose to, great. But if you haven't, that doesn't make you any less of a professional. It doesn't make your voice any less valuable. And so you must always, always present yourself as a professional wherever you go. You never know who you're going to meet and when that person will reconnect with you in another space. And so you want your name to always be worthy to be spoken in a positive manner. Okay. So I bless God for all of you. Michele, I like to give my guests the last word. Is there anything that you would like to say and leave everyone with before we leave tonight?
Slow down. Mm-hmm. You can do everything. You can't do it all at one time. You are not going to be able to give to others if you don't take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. So self-care is important. It's required. It's critical. So take care of yourself.
Y'all heard it. And with that, I'm going to say good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight for Speak Up Sis Talk Show, where we have had another conversation with an author that prayerfully has connected with you and your life. We're here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please come back next week and meet our next author. Okay. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Michele.
Good night.